This is the story of how I got my dream job, what made me walk away from it all into complete uncertainty, and what got me to start my own business. If you've ever wondered what it's like to walk away from corporate success and to create something of your own, this one's for you. I had applied with a headhunter for a technical program manager role at Hulu's technology operations team. On paper, I was the perfect candidate. I had a master's degree in communication management. I had my PMP, the project management professional certification. I had a portfolio of relevant projects. I had literally printed it out and brought it nicely bound to the interview. I had the experience that they were looking for. I previously worked as a project manager in a technology operations team. I felt like it was a match made in heaven, and I just didn't want to jinx it at the time. I showed up to the interview in a blazer and slacks when everyone else at the company was wearing the zip-up sweaters and jeans. But they forgave me and they took a chance on me. And I had felt like I won the jackpot in Vegas. Hulu changed my life. I was surrounded by some of the smartest, most creative, and talented minds in all of technology and entertainment. I was learning faster than ever before, and I was loving every second of it. It was a place where you really felt like you were on a team. Like everybody says, it felt like you were drinking water from a broken fire hydrant. And soon it evolved into not just a job, and it truly felt like home. I brought value, it brought value to me. I was thriving in my role. People appreciated how I led a team, how I was organized, and it also brought value to me. I was thriving and the company was growing. When I first joined the team, we had 3.5 billion in revenue, and at the end it was 10.7 billion. We went from a paid subscriber count, not counting the free subscribers, paid, from 22 million to 45 million. It really felt like the kind of company that I would never want to leave. Then Disney happened and everything changed. And not in the way you would expect from the happiest place on earth. Benefits were cut in the peak of the pandemic. I had colleagues who their loved ones were in the hospital, and all of a sudden our healthcare plans were changing. Teams were sliced and diced and reorganized until nothing felt familiar anymore. Lots of my colleagues had no idea who their new boss was. And the culture that made Hulu so special, it was practically gone. And I was starting to burn out. I stayed because I loved the team and my boss was a fearless leader, but every single reorg just made it harder and harder to recognize the company I had once fallen for. And I'll be honest, when my long-term incentives all paid out and when Disney notified me that they were going to slash my pay, it was clearly time for me to move on. I coordinated with my boss a plan for my exit and we made it work. I gave, I don't even know, like a pretty long lead notice. I thought I'd take a break and explore something totally different, rest and rejuvenate a bit. I'm actually a dive master, so I started running dive tours. It was fun, but physically it was exhausting. So I shut that business down. And that failure, it was tough, but it pushed me to ask myself, what am I truly great at? And what do people need? I realized that everything I loved about Hulu, building reliable systems, working with amazing leaders, making sure people could stream without having issues, and being able to watch what they wanted to watch without any issues, I could do that with smaller businesses and how they show up online. After all, I have always been at the intersection of communication and technology. That's when Wise Web Ops was born. Now, instead of 45 million Hulu subscribers, I help founders build an online presence that reflects their real-world experience with my systems and processes so that they can be found, run, and be there for people who need them 24/7, just like we did at Hulu. Leaving Hulu was the hardest breakup of my career, but it gave me the freedom to build something on my own. If you've ever felt torn between security and pursuing a passion, just know that it's worth it. If you want to see the real story behind Disney's takeover of Hulu, that's exactly what I'll cover in the next video. You can click here to watch it now.